Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. How are you guys doing today, man? I am firing on all cylinders. Cold outside, 2 feet of snow on the ground, but we're in here, we're in the laboratory, we're getting it done, doing what we gotta do. Hope you guys are having a tremendously amazing day, because that's what life is all about, and all the rest of it doesn't mean in the end, right? All we have is our families, our job, business, whatever. And just taking it a day at a time, man. That's the nature of my game. That's how I live. And I'm going to continue to do it that way. So if you're new to the channel, we appreciate you being here, man. Please subscribe to the channel. Please. We really appreciate it. I don't mean to sit here begging. That's not what I'm about. Do it. Don't do it. Doesn't make a difference to me. We're going to 1,000 whether you do it or you don't do it. But it's greatly appreciated and helps our cause move faster. While you're at it, smash that like button, man. Helps that algorithm. That's exactly what social media is all about, right? You hear the word algorithm all the time. I don't know if it's true or not, if it's a bunch of doesn't matter. Here we are. Please do it. I appreciate it. If you aren't new, we also appreciate the hell out of you. This channel has taken a while to build, but we wouldn't be here where we are today without you and without your watching these videos and commenting on them and sharing your experiences. So it's greatly appreciated. On this episode, it's not going to be a long one. It's so funny. I have taken lately a lot of my posts that I've created on other platforms that have kind of gone viral, and I've got a lot of conversation going on back and forth. A lot of retired guys, a lot of younger guys. Everybody's perspective is a little bit different, and that's fine. But I wanted to get into the conversation of ProPress and soldering. Now, this isn't a video that's going to explain the two things. That's not what I'm here to talk to you about. I don't have fittings in front of me, and I'm not going to get into the O-ring compared to, sweating and all that. What I do want to talk about is the way the world is now. Craftsmanship is leaving our generations. Now, you could say to me, well, craftsmanship, smashmanship, I don't care. I want to get the job done. And there is a level of total understanding from my part to yours of wanting to get in and out of jobs, and all that. But and don't get me wrong, by the way, as I get into this video and as I tell you my perspective, I don't want you to get enraged. This is not rage bait video to get you all excited about the fact that you do mostly ProPress now compared to copper sweat. I don't know if you work for another company. Maybe the company you work for wants you to use ProPress. It is nice. It does look nice and clean. All that is great. That's not what this is about. I'm not knocking you guys. I know that's the way of the future. I know that's how a lot of companies are doing it now. But my concern and why I'm just creating this video is I believe that craftsmanship is leaving. And I'm not saying that you don't have to be smart, and I'm not saying that you don't need a certain mind to put pipes together and press them and mark them and make sure jobs look good also, right? Because I'm an aesthetic guy as much as I am a functionality guy. Now, if I have to choose aesthetics over functionality, never. I gotta have it functioning the way it's supposed to and gotta have it piped in right. Now, I'm never gonna leave it crooked, but you understand what I'm trying to say. So I don't want you to get your panties in a bunch as you're already watching this. Press everything. I don't know what these old timers about. I'm not an old timer. I'm 43. I mean, I guess I'm an old timer. It's all it's left to your mind of what I am or I'm not. You think I'm an old timer because of the way I think and do things. Well, I learned from old timers, so you shouldn't expect any. But old timers also were the true craftsmen. I can figure out and get things done. I can think outside the box. And I think that's why this particular conversation has become a topic for me to discuss with you. And I want you to think about this in the greater scheme of things, not just as a ProPress or solder. Yes, that is the topic, but it also lends itself to a wider range of issues that I see inside of the trades in general and in the plumbing trade, more specifically, as they've gone to this more press. So I see guys using press for gas and again, I'm not knocking it. I don't know. Maybe I'm not educated enough. I don't know. I can tell you as an owner of my company, ProPress is expensive. I'm not doing residential. So I just want to be clear on that. Like in a residential scenario, when I'm doing 1/2 inch and 3/4 pipe, yeah, even there, the price of fittings is way different. But I mean, we're talking, $3 compared to 75 cents or whatever. Again, I'm just throwing numbers out there. Don't take it at what I'm saying. But you understand the point, right? It's still a margin of difference from one fitting to the next, but it's more acceptable to do it on smaller pipe. As you start getting into 2, 3, 4-inch pipe, which is more of my field, I mean, the price of fittings is exponentially larger. So there is that line to understand. But the other thing is the ingenuity is going out the window. And I had a guy, I'll tell you something funny, and this had me laughing. And I know this is just the internet, so I'm taking it at face value. But I had a guy comment like, you act like sweating pipe is super hard, and like you're like what you know how to do is like you're making it sound like it's super hard. And it kind of pissed me off a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, because you know what? At the end of the day, you know what? To solder, to put a piece of pipe to a fitting and clamp it with a machine doesn't seem like it takes a lot to me. Yes, I understand you have to mark the pipe because you never know if the fitting's fully on there, but let's just take that out of it. Let's just say all I'm doing is putting the pipe, popping it on, putting the jaws on it, clamping it on, letting it do its thing, stopping. I'm done, right? That's my fitting. But if you solder a joint, right? And I'm not speaking about 1/2 and 3/4. I agree that anybody could really sweat 1/2 and 3/4, but even that, there's still a level of knowledge that goes into that. You still have to know how to clean the pipe. You got to clean it a certain way, and you got to make sure you're prep, like in soldering, prep everything, right? Flux. You get the point. I got to clean the fitting. I got to flux the fitting. How much flux do I use? Guys, overflux, that creates issues with your solder, right? So there is an art to it. Like, I don't give a shit what you say. So it kind of annoyed me the way that guy approached it. No, I get it, man. I went to his profile. He's got like 50 followers or something. I'm not knocking like it doesn't matter. What matters is I notice it's always the people that have 0 following and almost no pictures on their profile. They don't share don't share any posts about themselves or what they do for a living, and then they're the first people to come on the channel or on my page and talk. So I know there's a level of bots out there. With all that aside, though, it's like, give me a dude. What makes you a craftsman? Putting a ProPress fitting on a piece of pipe and hitting with a ProPress gun? I get it. I know it's faster. Trust me, I do. I understand. And I have a lot of guys in my organization that are always begging me to use it. And we do use it. But you know where I use it? I use it when I can't stop the water, right? Again, you guys got to be mindful. In residential, I can go to the main, shut the water off, do the thing I got to do, press on a fitting or sweat a fitting, however the you want. When you're done, you open up the water, you check everything, you make sure there's no leaks, you keep it moving. Great. Awesome. I envy some of you guys that do this every day for residential purposes. But on the industrial side, when I'm dealing with 100 apartments, 200 apartments, 50 apartments, I can't just leisurely walk my way up to the water main, shut the water main off with a big gate valve or a ball valve, whatever's coming into the building on 4-inch mains, and just do what I gotta do and then just open the water back up and pray that everything works out. It doesn't work that way the same. So in those scenarios, when I have a lasting drip that I can't stop, you're not gonna be able to solder with a good drip going. Now, there are multiple ways you can do that, and I've used sweat jets and some other things. But in that scenario, yes, we have a ProPress machine. Yes, there are many times that I use it, but these are normally the circumstances or scenarios that I tend to move to ProPress. Is we'll cut the nipple out, even with a drip, throw a ProPress on there, snatch it on there, shut the valve, boom, copper from there, copper sweat from there, turn the water main back on. The water main stays on, but I can work, open up the valve, and I'm good to go. So in those scenarios, I use it. Again, this was not a debate of whether it's a good product, bad product, for or against. I'm not either in reality. I am for it. I think there is a time and a place for it, but I think it has taken the place of actually knowing what the you're doing, right? Because anybody can take I'm sorry, I'm not on plumbers. I think that you guys have heard me talk about techs to plumbers and the differences, and I'm not killing plumbers. There's a time and a place for everybody. On my type of plumbing, where it's just boiler room related, we do boilers, we do all types of stuff. There's a whole nother level of manpower and understanding, and then you have the technical side, which is definitely more into the weeds as far as electrical and this and that. So again, I'm not on anybody. And I have to say these things these days because everybody watches gets triggered by everything. You and your triggers. But it is truthful, right? At the end of the day, we have to be super mindful of not losing the ability to be craftsmen, not losing the ability to understand how to put things together, not losing the ability to actually be a plumber and not be somebody that just does, I don't know what they used to call that back in the day. They always had these little pieces that you would stick together, whatever, like little puzzles. Like, that was great because it got your mind going. There's no mind in this. Yeah, I mean, I get it. You still have to have aesthetics. In order to have aesthetics, you got to know where to cut the pipe and blah, 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 blah. Give me a break. The point is, where are you as a craftsman? Where do you see yourself? Where do you stack yourself up against others? Because I know there's a lot of out there that are ProPressing everything. And good for you. Like, I'm glad you're out there. I am not knocking anybody's hustle. Like, I want everybody to make money. I'm not that guy. I'm not a hater. But I am, and maybe it's just the old-timer, dinosaur type of thought process in me. But I have noticed that, and again, you have to remember, go back to the beginning of the video. I'm not on this specific thing. I use this as an example, but it's way broader than that. I watch guys try to figure out even the most simple things. And if they don't have the exact piece or the exact screw or the exact nut or the exact this, that's it. They're done. They're paralyzed to be able to fix it. And then I come in there and I go, all right, let me look around. Where can I steal something? Again, temporarily, but it doesn't matter. Sometimes it's permanent. I can find screws, find bolt. I think outside the box. It's not tunnel vision. It's like I was explaining to one of my guys the other day. But the point is, you have to get out of this thinking and get into this thinking. And this thinking is going to lead you down different rabbit holes for sure, but you're going to start coming up with answers. And you're going to be able to figure out problems. And you're going to be a problem solver once again. Not just somebody that can just connect pipes together and keep it moving. Because I feel like I could teach anybody to do that. Now I could teach anybody to solder. But it's a whole nother level of understanding soldering. The burring tools, the deburring tools, cleaning the pipe. How are you cleaning the pipe? How much flux am I using? How much solder am I using? How much heat am I using? Am I putting the heat close? Am I pulling the heat away? Am I heating up the pipe for? I mean, there's 1,000 that people do it. Now, I'm not here to tell you which one's right, which one's wrong. That's not what this video is about, and that's up for your interpretation. But my point is, at what point do you realize you're losing the ability to use your hands in a way that all the old timers used to do? And maybe you don't want to be old timer, you don't want to be like the old timers. Okay, then maybe this video ain't for you. But if you've watched this far, we're almost 14 minutes in, so I appreciate you. Again, I can rant about this all day, and it does frustrate me a little bit because I'm part of seeing the younger generation come in. I have my own company. I'm taking a lot of guys under my wing. That's one thing I have to teach them. I never thought in my lifetime I'd have to teach somebody how to think. But we live in a world now where I have to teach people how to think. And what I mean by that is you can't just look at everything and take everything at face value. There's an answer and a way to fix things all the time. So, like I said, even though I started talking about ProPress to solder, obviously it should be pretty clear what side I'm on. I'm a solder guy. We're a little bit old school. Yeah, maybe it takes me a little bit longer. But there's also no proof long term, just like some other things in our life that I'm not going to talk about. We don't know how they're going to hold up. How are those O-rings going to hold up? Now, for all I know, 40, 50 years down the road, you're still going to see this ProPress. But what happens when the joints start leaking? I'm not saying solder joints don't leak, but we don't know yet. So I'm just going to leave it up for debate for right now. And I hope the comment section is jammed with people on both sides because I love to hear it. And I'm not knocking you on either side, by the way. I appreciate you. I'm a blue-collar guy. I love to work with my hands. And if you're out there doing it every single day, no matter the weather, no matter the temperature, no matter what, I still have love and appreciation for you. I just like to have this conversation because I think it's important. So if you want to, and you're interested, and you've watched this far, drop a comment below. If you've also watched this far and you have not subscribed, and you really feel what I'm trying to say, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, help us out. We're growing. We appreciate you. If you drop a comment, it's always me responding, so I will give you a response. Whether you like the response or not, I don't know. That remains to be seen, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Keep killing in your business. Have a good one. Peace.